Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of the Midwest Buzz. I'm JC,
And I'm Olivia.
and we are not in our festive Valentine's Day attire, but happy Valentine's Day week.
No,
You're
this
like,
is like a brownie pink. I was gonna say.
you really? I mean, we're in a pink setup. It's fine.
Yes.
Cheers to Valentine's week of love, however you want to
Yep.
refer to it as.
Whatever.
My brother sent me it was actually a YouTube short. I was like, what did he send me? And it was like me on Valentine's Day. And it was, do you remember like the Wii's where you would like play baseball?
Mm-hmm.
And then it would be like, you'd hit it and it would go and they'd be like, single. I don't know why, but I found it so funny because we played a lot of Wii baseball as kids. And he was like,
Yeah.
me this Valentine's Day. It's like, phew, single.
Yeah, that Wii Sports was fun. We really liked that too. We did a lot of bowling
Yeah, I like some bowling.
tennis. We loved the tennis.
I was always really bad at tennis. I was good at bowling. I was okay at golf. I was
I don't think I was
okay
very
at
good at golf.
baseball, but for some reason tennis I was really bad
Well,
at.
I think tennis was really frustrating, but also really funny to like watch people play.
Yeah.
And then like the characters like.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
I think, what was the other one? Oh, there was boxing.
Oh yeah, I like boxing.
Boxing was fun.
Get your frustration out, but not really.
Right. Just punching at the air. Now they've got their VRs, so it's a little different.
Yeah,
But
yeah, kids don't.
the OGs know.
Yes. How's Lake House?
Good. I've been doing some painting projects. I got a call today, like some appliances are getting delivered.
Nice.
So I've got the countertop people are coming into template next week.
That's exciting.
So things are happening.
Yeah.
Good. There's still wallpaper. There's one bathroom upstairs with wallpaper.
But that whole thing's being demoed, but you still have to
Yeah,
do
and it's
wallpaper.
just the border. So it's a very small amount, but
That's good. Saved the easiest for last. That's
yes,
smart.
hopefully it's the
Yeah,
easiest.
hopefully, yeah. It'd be the beast of them all.
The contractor that's working out there,
Mm-hmm.
I went out there one day to work on some painting and he wasn't there, and I was like, that's weird. Found out he was in acute care because he was removing like a wall corner piece, like they have metal on them, and he was removing it and just sliced like 3 of his fingers.
Oh no! Do you have to get stitches?
They ended up gluing them, but they were like
'cause
bad.
How did you do that?
Yeah, and I was like, so he
Like,
shows
can you
back up
still
with like
work?
this brace, and he's like, yeah, it's my right-handed, and I'm right-handed, and I was like, he's still able to do stuff because it was like they put kind of like not a cast, but just like a little splint on it type
Yeah,
thing,
so that it
and they're like,
stays.
yeah, that way it won't reopen. But I was like, I'm so sorry, I felt so bad.
You're like, I'm sorry, but can you still work? We do have a deadline.
Yes. No, he
No.
was able to still. He's actually putting like all of the cabinet faces on today in the kitchen.
nice.
So I'm excited to see how that actually looks because it's just been like faceless boxes for a long time.
So the one guy already redid the things.
yeah,
and
the
he's putting
hinges
them
are
back
ready
up.
to go. He's putting them back
Gotcha.
up, and then handles can go on.
It's gonna look so good. That's
I
gonna
know.
change the space a ton. And then when you get the new countertops, you're gonna be ready to move out there.
It's gonna be so beautiful.
Yeah, that's
I have to
exciting.
pick out tile, but yeah, all the
Yes.
steps.
I don't really have any life updates. Grant didn't end up going away for the weekend. Adam started feeling uneasy about it, so his mom was like, I don't want you to feel uneasy. We'll do it a different time. She was very understanding.
That's good.
Yeah, so he might have a sleepover at their house soon to make up for it.
That'd be
But,
fun.
Yeah. We had a fun family weekend.
Traveling
instead.
with kids solo like that would be a little like,
Yeah, Adam was just like, I just want to go with, but he also had a men's conference here that
yeah.
his mom didn't want him to miss, so.
That's fair. I mean, to be fair, maybe he would have talked about it for a couple days, but like he wouldn't remember it.
Yeah.
He's little enough where like they're not going to remember
He's
stuff
having
like
a
this.
Nana day today, and he was very excited about it. When I dropped him off after the gym, he was like, Nana, 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 to go to her house. And he loves her dogs, Goose and Rosie.
Yeah.
And so he'll say like, he says like Deuce and Roro. And anyways, he was just very excited to go. And so I was like, come give me hugs, bye-bye. And he just turned and waved. I was like, give me a hug. But he has fun.
What's Goose?
Goose is their, have you not seen they got a new dog?
Mm-mm.
I mean, they got
They
him
had the
back.
chocolate lab, but then
Yeah, they had to rehome
Keen
him
was
because
allergic.
Keen was allergic, and then they got this. He's like a, oh gosh, what is he? He's like a small dog that is curly, has tight curly hair, and he has to get groomed a lot, but he doesn't shed.
Oh.
I can't remember what he's called.
Anyway, small dog. Okay.
Yeah. And they got him from someone who was looking to rehome him because they had other big dogs and they had kids, and they felt like he was getting abused by the kids. So they wanted him to have a
Poor
better home.
thing.
Yeah. So he's younger. I think he's like 2 or 3.
Cute.
So
That's fun.
yeah.
Are you guys doing anything for Valentine's Day?
We have made no plans. Adam and I typically like to celebrate, like, we'll celebrate or get gifts for each other after the fact when everything's on sale, if we get each other
Yeah.
candy or anything. But we're also both trying to eat better. Me because I'm pregnant, him because he's just trying to lose weight. So, which he has been. He looks great. But yeah, so we'll see. We haven't made any plans.
Yeah.
My birthday is, when we're filming this, my birthday hasn't happened yet. So that's kind of where
Yeah.
we're making our plans.
That's true. Your
the thing.
birthday's always a week before. Yeah.
So it's double duty for Adam.
Yeah, all the gifts. Yeah, I don't really know if Cole hasn't asked me to be his Valentine yet, so don't even know, I'm just
What's
kidding.
this was him asking.
Yeah,
for
he's
ring.
like permanent Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Valentine.
No, I've seen those reels where it's like, ladies, this is a sign that just because you're married or dating or whatever doesn't mean he doesn't have to ask you to be his Valentine. I never really cared about that kind of stuff, but it's cute if they do it.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
if it's important to them, or if they like think of that stuff.
I'm not gonna like get bent out of shape if he doesn't actually ask. I'm sure we'll do something.
Yeah.
Honestly, knowing us, we'll probably just like go eat somewhere and like maybe go watch a movie or
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Just
do want to
hanging
start
out is-
using those scratch off date
Oh yeah.
cards.
That's a good
I
idea.
really want to like start being intentional with using them. So maybe we'll whip those out.
That's a fun idea.
Yeah.
Adam and I have the stay-at-home pack, so it's like a stay-at-home date night.
Oh.
And I was like, we need to start doing these once we put Grant to bed on like weekends and stuff.
Yeah.
When
That'd be fun.
he doesn't have to wake up at 4:30 or 5.
I sent them to all of my couples and I had quite a few girls like message me back and they were like, thank you for the gift. Like, I'm really excited for the date night.
I feel like it helps a lot because so many people's dates are just like going out to eat.
It's very boring.
Yeah.
I mean,
So, like,
not
helps-
boring, but like, and I enjoy like a lot of the conversation that comes
Yeah.
from it, but it's like, it's fun to have like an activity.
Yeah. Yeah.
I saw this like clay like pottery making kit that's like a stay at home date night thing. And I was like, that'd be kind of fun. I just love like little handmade pottery things.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah.
like, that could be kind of cool to do. But
That is fun. Yeah.
lately,
it's
all
just
of my
doing
dates have been
things.
like rewiring. Oh, big news. I learned how to wire outlets. I was telling Olivia about this at the gym. So basically, like you take the cover off, which that's the farthest I've ever gotten near an outlet.
And all
for
power is cut
painting.
off. She's not
Yeah,
doing
shut the
this.
power off. And then you like unscrew everything. You take the outlet off and then you have to like, so basically I'm putting all new ones in the lake house just because the ones on there that are there are like old and crappy, and just to have a fresh new, like brand new fresh white outlets.
Yeah.
But so Cole taught me how to do it and I was doing really good with all of the outlets. Everything was great. And then he's like, yeah, switches are like the same thing. You just look at what the old ones were, matched up, black and black, make sure it's everything's the same. I was like, oh, I can do this. And so I wired two in the bedroom and he goes and puts the power on because he was doing a fan light combo thing and he's like flipping it. But then there's a remote too. So I like turn the remote on. And I'm like, why is this light not working? And he shuts it off and all of a sudden it comes on and he was like, JC, you wired these upside down. I was like, well, I tried.
So hire JC for all your
I'm
electrical
basically
needs.
an electrician now. Just kidding. I'm not. There's an electrician coming out tomorrow to work on a bunch of stuff. So
Oh, is he coming?
I'm sure he'll have fun with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, lots of fun lake house stuff. But no, Valentine's Day will probably, be some like Menards date, knowing me lately.
Yeah.
I swear I spend all my time there now.
You got your rebates are going to be insane. when
I
you get those
know.
back.
Once the 11% rebate comes back, I'm going to be a wealthy woman in rebates.
Yeah.
But yeah, should we get into our Valentine's Day
Yes.
date episodes?
Speaking of dates, we have some stories for you guys. Thank you to everyone who wrote in advance.
Yes, if you left us a story, thank you. I was going to, before I start this, I was on YouTube and I was reading some comments. First of all, there was a really cute one from Abby on the Prairie. It was on I think it was on the episode that we talked about it was either Christmas or like when I was talking about wedding planning, and it said, "Congratulations, JC, so happy for you, and also congratulations, Olivia. Little girls are so fun. Grant will be a great big brother. I hope he's feeling better." Oh yeah, this was right after we talked about RSV.
Oh, yeah.
Also, check out Sunrise Flour Mill for some good high quality flour. I don't think their shipping is as high as Ballerina. I listened to you ladies on my way to Aberdeen for parts runs, and I decided to go to Crave. It was so good. Thanks for talking about them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good I need to mark that down because I would like to get some better quality flour.
Yeah. And then on the not as fun. Okay, so I don't know who this guy is.
That's some creep.
Brad Aaron Taylor. Wish this episode was an hour long, not gonna lie. I bloody love listening to the two of you. Crushing hard. Ha, great episode.
Well, thanks. Appreciate it, actually.
Yes. Thanks for the comments, sir. But yeah, okay, so we have a listener write-in, date night. I put like the thing was like the good, the bad, the ugly. So like good dates, bad dates, crazy dates.
Funny dates.
All the things. So do you want to start out or do you want me to?
Sure. Okay. I have it on my computer because I feel like that's easier for me to read on. Anyways, not too funny, but my now husband and I's first date was a 5K color run. We were 14 and my now husband didn't realize that I couldn't run as fast as him. So as he was trying to make conversation, ask me questions about myself, I was literally dying out of breath trying to keep up with him. And I was too embarrassed to tell him to slow down. I was answering questions in between wheezing for air. So embarrassing. We finished the race and I survived. We haven't ran together since. Married now with 2 kids.
That is an adventurous first date. And also, like, yeah, if you're not a runner, being able to keep conversation while running is so hard.
Sounds miserable to me.
I love that they have not ran. Yes. Color runs are really fun, though. Like, I've done, like, the inflatable 5Ks where it's, like, the obstacle courses. And then I've done, like, an actual color run. And they are really fun to do. Yeah. Like, you don't realize, like, running 3 miles isn't that much, but when you're doing it, you're like, oh, that was so quick.
Yeah, if I had like fun things or whatever, I think it would be more enjoyable.
Yeah, that's fun. That's very cute. 14.
I know, so little.
Little BBs. Okay. So my first date is with my soon-to-be husband. We will be together 10 years this August, and we'll be married October of this year. We had met on Tinder and he wanted to take me out for supper. I threw some ideas back and forth. We ended up on Qdoba. Well, we ordered and then we got to the end where we pay and his card declines 4 times.
Oof.
So I paid and having no issues paying, but he really So I paid and had no issues, but he really insisted that he should have. Well, I come to find out a couple years later, he was overdrawn in his checking account and wanted to impress me. So he was really hoping it would go through. He told
me
he's never been so embarrassed by not being able to pay, but evidently that did not turn me away.
That's hilarious.
Can you imagine, just being overdrawn and be like,
let's just, Lord, please.
Dear Jesus, please let this go through. Like, swipes.
4 times. Not even the first time when he knows he's overdrawn. That's hilarious.
It's so funny to me because, like, I've had cards that, like, there are places where don't accept Amex or, like, different things. But it's like, if a card doesn't go through, you're like, I promise I have money.
Yeah,
like, please don't
that
judge
happened to me one time at Charisma, and I think it was just so random because it was nothing with my bank account.
Your card was being weird.
Yeah,
it was a credit card. It wasn't even a bank account.
No,
it was your Amex, wasn't it?
It was like all of my cards.
Yeah, like none of them would work.
Yeah, nothing.
And
was working.
I thankfully had a gift. I think it was their reader because then I had a gift card and she just applied the gift card.
Yeah, but she was like, "This hasn't been," because I mean it was like midday.
Yeah, so that was like, weird. I remember
it was weird. Anyways, but embarrassing because I was like, I'm not totally broke.
You're like, I do have enough money to cover my coffee.
Yeah. Anyways, okay. It was freshman year when I met this random boy I've never heard of before. We talked for probably around a couple months before he had come over and asked me to be his girlfriend. So obviously she knows him now. It was really sweet. He had brought me my favorite candy, drink, and a stuffed animal. Yeah, I know, cringy, right? Depends on how old you were.
Yeah. I mean, they're in high school. Stuffed animal,
Yeah.
cute.
Yeah, freshman year, totally cute. At first, he seemed all nice, and somehow, okay, wait, sorry, I messed that up. Seemed nice and was sweet. He had randomly thought I cheated on him. I woke up to him blocking me on everything. I somehow got a hold of him and explained, and he realized he got the dates wrong or whatever. Oh, sorry, he got the dates wrong of whatever was said or happened. After that, I realized he probably wasn't who I thought him to be. I went on a deep dive and found out he was a DOC, been to juvie, and even had a GTA charges. Okay, I don't know what DOC means.
Delinquent, or I actually don't know.
We'll have to look that
Yeah.
up. Because of all of this information, I broke up with him because it was insane that he had hid that from me. Yeah, he hid that from you, and he thought you cheated on him and blocked you on everything. You should have just taken that opportunity to be done.
It never fails that people who are typically cheaters will always like accuse
you of doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I then found out he was cheating on me. Oh, look at that.
Shocking.
The whole time with my stepsister and best friend. Ooh. Not that good of a friend, my goodness. Not to mention he wrote a diss track on me. Find it on SoundCloud. She put the name of it.
Stop it.
Told everyone I broke his heart and drove past my house taking pictures saying he was going to trash my car. This is your friendly reminder to pay attention to people you're around and don't jump into anything even if you think you know them. Wow.
That is so much.
That's a lot. Don't date random guys that you haven't vetted.
Yeah.
Moral of the story.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's crazy.
Also, your stepsister and best friend.
Yep.
Yikes. Some best friend.
No kidding. Okay, I once hung out with a guy sophomore year of high school that I thought I could like and had heard he wanted to get to know me. He came over for the first time ever and we watched TV. After that, he left, texted me saying we didn't do anything. And I could definitely understand what he was referring to. Mind you, that's basically the first time I had a conversation with him or hung out with him. I totally ghosted him after that. Such an ick.
Ew. Like
he was like
he was mad that they didn't, or he was, oh. Okay. Yeah.
It says after he left, he texted me saying we, in quotations, didn't do anything. Like he didn't want things to get like maybe said that stuff happened. Like he probably had a girlfriend or something else. And he was like, oh, like nothing happened. We were just hanging out.
Okay. Gross.
Weird.
Boys are weird. Well,
some boys not men. Yeah.
Let's create the firm line there. Boys and men. Different.
Very true.
There are creepy men though too.
Facts.
Yeah. Gotta be aware. Be very aware. Okay. I was seeing a guy for a few weeks until I got the "Hey girly" DM from his ex. Turns out he was sleeping with his ex. At any moment I wasn't with him. He told me he wasn't seeing her and tried to convince me the only reason he saw her one time was because she just got diagnosed with cervical cancer. That was also a lie that he made up. So she didn't have
Oh my gosh. This is turning into a not I'm in my mind I thought these stories are going to be really, some of them have been.
Yeah.
But like cute little like, oh my gosh, this is how I met my husband.
The dating world is crazy.
I will say I do not envy, and I'm not saying small town dating is different, but like especially like big town like metropolitan areas where it's like the dating, like how you meet people, it's usually on apps or whatever, and it's like it's just weird. I would not want to be in that world. Okay, I've got another one. When I was in high school, I started talking to a boy from out of town in ninth grade. It was right after an emotionally abusive relationship over a year long as a young middle schooler had ended.
Oof.
Talk about traumatic. This is, I mean, I'm not judging anyone,
No, but that's why we shouldn't date that young.
yeah, middle schoolers don't need to be dating.
No.
I
not
mean, I know that
seriously.
there's some really good stories of couples who did start dating that young and have
Right.
stayed together and are like in a healthy relationship. Great.
those
But
are
as
rare.
a whole, that's not the norm.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, sorry.
No, you're good.
He really liked me and we started dating pretty fast. Although it's not really dating when you're so young.
Okay.
That's true.
Fair.
Anyway, we hung out probably twice in person, met him at an event along with other students from that town, ended up talking to his friend a lot also. And yes, that's where this is going. I was chronically on my phone back in those days, and he always responded pretty quickly. I thought he was funny and nice and didn't feel as though I liked him at all. He ended up texting me one night about 2 to 3 months in my relationship with his friend and was talking about a dance they had at their school that night. He had described how fun it was with all the girls. For some reason, it made me jealous. I didn't know what to do with that feeling, but after a week or so, I couldn't let it go. I ended up telling him how I felt, and he felt the same. I had to break it off with my current boyfriend, and it was a little ugly. I started dating the friend and really liked him. He broke up with me for good after about a year and a half. I don't know if it's because he was the only guy who ended it with me and not the other way around, but I couldn't let it
Subtle
go.
brag.
I couldn't let it go and ended up being about 4 years before I felt like it was okay and came to terms with the ending.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, but also probably in high school. So
Yeah.
maybe she was like young 20s when she like got over it.
Yeah.
It seems really silly because I was so young, but I do feel like it's the first time I loved anyone. And I still think about him frequently to this day. 8-ish years later, I do feel bad for his friend, and I feel I do feel like it was a rebound out of a horrible relationship, and how I basically started dating his best friend after 2 months of dating him. To be fair, it wasn't meant to be, and I never felt what I felt with his friend for him. But he did some terrible things to me also, so that I don't feel very bad. I wonder, will I ever be able to fully move on? I think I might miss him forever.
Whoa. So
This is deep.
yeah, I feel like I need more context to this story of like, first of all, the exact timeline of age, because middle school is so vague to me. Of like, the
Well, she
age that it would
started,
be.
this guy was ninth grade.
Okay.
So she was a freshman when she started
then
dating the
was
boyfriend who she's calling a rebound.
And she dated him for a year and a half, so she was like,
So she
almost
would have been
junior
like
year.
almost junior year, and then
She said it took her
started
4
dating.
years.
Yeah,
So
so
she was
she's
like
probably
a-
like
a
20.
junior in college when she was over it. Okay. And then 8 years later, she said she's thinking about it and like,
That's hard. I do feel like there is something about the relationships that you have in high school.
can either traumatize you or
You can nostalgically, I think a lot of things you nostalgically look back at, and
As
it's
being
really
so
easy
good.
to look back and see the good, like all the stuff you missed, and it's really easy to forget about like the bad parts or the
Yeah.
pain. So that's hard
yeah.
because there's stuff like from my like high school that I would like
Yeah.
that age where I'm like,
But that was so
but it was
sweet.
so good, like it
Yeah.
was so sweet, like
And
it
that's
was
good
so
to have
kind.
those memories
Like,
that those were
but I
good.
think also like,
It was high school.
and
we're
like it was his
romanticizing
best
it, maybe.
friend.
Yeah.
I'm curious how that relationship went because I never dated either of these boys, but I had things with two best friends where it was like I had a thing with the one, and like we just were like, I was like, no, and then like, but his like best friend had a huge crush on me,
And you're like,
and
sure.
so like we talked a little bit, like again,
Nothing really.
yeah, this
but
is like young, but they like stopped talking because of this.
you were like, I'm popular. Yeah.
It was obviously like
I would
they
just
were
be curious if this person has dated since. Seriously, it doesn't
yeah.
sound like maybe she's had a serious relationship.
Maybe she
since,
just hasn't
or,
found someone who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I'm curious. Like, is he married? Is he like?
Yeah. Maybe you guys can reconnect.
Yeah.
Never know.
You never know.
Life is
Anyways.
crazy.
Dating stories. That's all we have for you guys.
I have one more.
Oh, you have one more. That's
Yeah.
all I have. JC
Okay.
has one more. Let's hope it ends on a happy note.
Yeah, I want it to be really sweet. Wait, I thought you had.
I do have more, but I didn't know if it was getting
Okay.
too much. You do your last one.
A guy wanted to go out, but I wasn't really feeling it. But then he guilt tripped me into going to dinner. Told me to meet him in the church parking lot, and then we would decide where to go. I had no idea where I was going, so I told him, let's meet at Minerva's. Never told me what he was driving, so it took a hot minute to figure out where he was. Then we decided on Mavericks, got our food, and the man took 2 bites of his food and was done with it. I felt terrible for trying to eat mine while he was just sitting there, so I decided that I wouldn't eat much either.
Oh.
Turns out he had just had his wisdom teeth removed only a few days prior, but failed to mention anything until weeks later. Luckily, he did pay for the meal.
Why wouldn't he order something like soup?
Or why, like, wait to go on a date till you're healed and you can
Yeah.
eat food?
Or be like, let's have a milkshake date. Let's just go for milkshakes.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That's funny.
People are funny. I wonder. I mean, obviously, I guess nothing really came of it. But hey, at least he paid for it.
Yes, at least he paid. At least his credit card didn't decline.
I do have a few more. I guess we can
Do one more.
Okay. Oh, let me make sure of the ones that I have. Which one's the best?
We have
one?
time.
Okay.
My write-in for the test, so you guys could send these in anonymously, was I like typed in, I was like, one time a guy and I went to Palm Garden. Now I'm marrying him. End of story.
Great date story.
We carved our names in the walls.
Did you do it on that date?
Actually, funny story. So on that date, I was like, yeah, it's so cute. Like everyone has their names on the walls. And so I carved my name in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
And then I just like left it. And then it was probably like a year later after we were like officially dating and stuff. I was like, we should add your name next to mine.
Fun fact, if you didn't know, JC and Cole's dating anniversary is my birthday.
It is. Cole did, in fact, ask me to be his girlfriend
And
on
now
Olivia's
you will
birthday.
never be asked to be a girlfriend again.
No, that would be the goal.
Yeah. And you'll never be asked to be a wife again. It was
I know. It's crazy. I feel like this year is just like flying by too.
crazy.
So much stuff happening. You're having a baby. I'm getting married.
You're getting
I have a
another
nephew. Yeah. All the
So
things.
many exciting things. Okay. I was supposed to meet up with a guy I had met online at a bar near my place before we went on to a blues club. He texted me while I was on the way there and said we should just meet outside and find another bar. A 45-minute walk through the snow later, and I'm of course wearing heels, I asked if we could take a cab to get to the blues joint, but he said it was really close. We walked 25 more minutes to the blues place. At the table, he started horribly dancing around in his chair. Then he tickled my love handles. When I told him I was going home, he got in the cab with me. The whole ride, he was talking about how he wanted to go out again, and I told him how busy I was. He definitely wasn't taking the hint. Tickled her love handles?
That's weird.
He just sounds... Well,
That
first of
sounds
all,
creepy.
why did you have to walk in the snow? Like, why is that ever a good
Yeah,
idea?
why not get a cab there? Ew.
No.
Some of these remind me of, have you heard like Brooke and Jubal? They do like it's like a radio show host,
Okay.
and they do second date recaps. So like if you had a first date with someone and then they ghost you or you don't hear from them,
Yeah.
you email Brooke and Jubal and you tell them about your first date, and then you give them their phone number, and then they call them on the air and they're like, oh, hey, is this Steve? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, hey, Steve, this is Brooke and Jubal from you know, like whatever. And then they're like, yeah, what do you want? And he's like, well, we are curious why you're not talking to Rebecca anymore.
They
And
just like,
yeah, and they're like, we're just curious, like, why you didn't want to go on another date with her. And then they like get into like some tea.
that would be so entertaining.
Yeah, they come up. They're my TikToks
Yeah.
all the time, and I'll just sit and listen to them.
Yeah, I'd do that. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
Anyways, okay, I'll do one more because we have them, so might as well. I love date stories because I didn't date a lot, and I like to
Lives vicariously through crazy date stories.
Yeah, I don't want to live them.
I don't think and that's the thing, like, I feel like in the Midwest, not everyone, but everyone meets, a chunk of people meet through friends. So it's like you've hung out so much as friends a lot of times that you don't do like I'm meeting you for the first time date. Yeah. I've never experienced that. No. Like, I've only ever just like known people, kind of started snapping, doing whatever, texted, and then we're like, oh, we should hang out. And then by that time, I'm like, I know you well enough that you can come sit on my couch and we can watch a movie. And we've had hour-long phone conversations that this isn't weird.
And around here, it's like, and I know your parents and your grandparents.
Right. So, like, the whole, like, first date thing is so interesting to me because I've never been on, like, I would call it, like, a dry call. Like, you know no information about this person.
Yeah.
You show up, you know, like, nothing. Like, you're nervous. Like, I've never been nervous on a date.
I mean, I think I was maybe, like, nervous, like, because I'm not a super good conversationalist. And I get nervous. I used to be really nervous eating in front of guys. Not anymore, obviously. But, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of those qualities.
She doesn't have the social anxiety like me.
But I get like wanting to be like presented well and speak well and like you want someone to have a high opinion of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was how I knew Adam was the one because I didn't feel like, not that I went on dates before Adam, but I had like guys I would talk to or hang out with in groups and stuff like that. And with Adam, I didn't feel like so nervous to talk or be myself or to eat or anything like that. And that's how I knew.
That's good.
Or one of the ways that I knew. Okay. Speaking of meeting people randomly, I was in college and ended up giving this guy my number at a bar because he seemed cute and normal at the time. We grabbed dinner and everything was going well, except that he could not stop talking about his ex. He talked about how much he missed her, trips they took, the fact that he thought they were going to get back together soon. When he walked me home, he tried to kiss me, thinking that I somehow had a great time. I thanked him for dinner and we never spoke again. I don't understand the thought process there. Like, let me just talk about another girl the whole time that we're together.
That is such a red flag.
I still would like to kiss you. And I'm probably not going to date you for very long if I do date you, but I would like something to take up my time in between this and me and my ex getting back together.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get back together with her, don't date anybody.
People are so interesting to me.
Yeah, that's the world, man.
That is such a, like, I think when you're in a healthy relationship, like, I had asked Cole, I said, oh, do you have any, like, juicy, like, dating stories from, like, before me?
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I was on Hinge. Like, I met up with this one girl and, like, was like, oh, like, I'll take you out for dinner. And he goes, it was, like, the most boring conversation of my entire life. He's like, I would ask her a question and she'd be like, yes. And they'd be like, oh, like, do you have a family? Yeah. What do you like to do? Nothing. Like, he's like, he's like, I pried for conversation. And he's like, I got nothing. And I was like, wow, you really looked out with me then.
Conversation forever. There's nothing worse than that, though. Like, even when you, I mean, like, just in, like, friendship instances when you're, like, you know, as trying to make mom friends and stuff. I have good mom friends, and so I'm not saying this about any of my friends. But, like, if you're, like, trying to hang out and make conversation because your kids are playing together or something, and it's, like,
like, you're like, we're in the same circle, so we probably should be friends. And and like, some people are so hard to conversate with.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, we actually don't have anything in common. We'll just let our kids play.
Do you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't.
Or sometimes they just talk the whole time and you're like, which I don't mind because I'm not a super, although I have a podcast, I'm not a super talker.
You're
I'm in between.
With your people, you talk.
Yeah.
When it's someone that you don't know well, like if you and I are somewhere and we're like meeting someone,
you're going to do all the talking.
Yeah.
And that's how I like it.
But
That's why we're
but like
good
if it's people you're close with,
Yeah.
you are good.
Yeah. Anyways. But
Yeah,
I
that's just
can't-
interesting in general. I thought about that the other day. I was like, I feel like I don't need to make more friends. Like, I mean, I'm all for like meeting new people
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But like core friends, and I was like, yeah, but like what if you have like mom friends? Like once you become a mom, like you have to hang out with who your kids like. And then I was
But
like,
you're so lucky because you have Ashton, you have me, your kids will
that's
just hang
true.
out with our kids.
I'll be like, you're forced to hang out with my kids, my friends' kids.
Yes.
So
And you
sorry.
and Brooke could be having babies at the same time.
This is facts.
Lauren's kid, he already has a kid.
Yeah,
you
that's
already-
true.
yeah.
Almost all my
Lakin,
friends
she just
have
doesn't live
kids,
here.
so I
All your core friends are
thankfully
right.
I do not have to deal with this.
Because you and Brooke are right on the like
Same path,
same
kind of.
path right now, and then the rest of us are just
a little
starting
bit
to have
ahead.
kids. Yeah.
But close enough.
Yes. So we'll all just
They're just old enough where I can be like, "Hey Grant, make sure my kid doesn't eat rocks."
yeah
Thanks.
yeah yeah. Trace, you're in charge.
Trace, don't let your cousin die. Thank
Yeah.
you. Trace
Watch
would be
them
like,
closely.
"This is so much responsibility for me." Trace is like so good about stuff like that too. He'd be like, "Oh no, Auntie,
Yeah.
they tripped."
Yeah.
Anywho's, okay. Well, thank you guys for writing in. We super appreciate
Yes.
when you guys write in. We love the comments. So if you have anything that you've thought of while listening to the episode and you want to leave us a comment, we would love that. Make sure
Yes.
you are sharing this with your friends and family if they would find it entertaining.
Yes.
Thank you for listening and have a great Valentine's Day, single or in a relationship. It's still a fun holiday.
Yep. Get some heart-shaped something.
Yeah,
I
go
don't
get
know.
some candy. I mean, chocolate's always good.
Yeah, the Saturday. It's a Friday. That's kind of fun for Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
The Saturday after, you can go get all the discount candy.
Exactly. If you love chocolate, it's a great holiday.
Yes. All right.
Thanks for listening. Bye.
Wow, you were so insane.
That was really good.